That was funny, what we spoke about like 2 weeks ago upstairs when we were talking about how people should pay a tax, just as people pay a tax when they purchase alcohol, they purchase cigarettes, pay a tax when they purchase McDonald's, to pay a tax when they purchase the chicken from KFC, and pay a tax when they purchase, you know, burgers from Wendy's or whatever store it may be, White Castle. They should pay a tax because we know that these things are unhealthy. We know that these things are killing people. And we know that these things are leading to the destruction of the universe, the destruction of the world, the destruction of the human body. So when people knowingly consume these things, they should pay for it. They should pay a little extra. And that money should go towards, I don't know, environmental companies, environmental campaigns and organizations to help revitalize the earth. Because we're taking out of the earth at an alarming rate when we eat animals, when we eat things that are raping the earth. And,
Right.
What do you think about that?
Yo, I think that's real serious, man. If you were driving on the highway and expressway, like I said last time, and you throw a piece of paper outside of your car window, and the police happen to see you, you're gonna be pulled over and issued a summons of up to $1,000 or more, depending on how big the item was that you disposed out of your window. But we're doing, I mean, that crime is not too different from eating poison, because your body is part of the earth too. You're a living organism on the earth, and just like you can't throw plastic into the ocean because of what can happen to turtles or to the swans, you're a living body as well. So when you ingest certain things such as McDonald's and, you know, dead animals and such, it's the same type of problem. It's the same type of pollution. You see, in this society we've become so distant from being at one with nature that we don't see ourselves as an integral part of nature. You know what I mean? And that type of thinking is detrimental to ourselves and ultimately to our entire well-being and to the next stage of our transcendence. And I'd rather use that word than evolution.
Because I think it's like this. We're in a stage right now where people are trying to conquer nature, where they're trying to conquer the animals, conquer the plants. I mean, look at it. The destruction of not only the rainforest, but the redwoods in California. Many other acres of forests around the world are being destroyed at a very scary rate. We're destroying these things, and it's like, what's the fuel behind the destruction? Money. Money is the fuel behind the destruction of our environment. And it's like, we are creating animals, literally creating animals. We're breeding genetically engineered animals to eat, fueled by money. We're cutting down the rainforest and cutting down all types of forests in the world, fueled by money. So the common denominator in all these things are money. So it's really ironic, because it's like we're gaining all this money, we're getting rich, we're filling our bank accounts, and we're building up this false sense of prosperity and wealth, but at the same time, we're killing ourselves. So it's like the more money we're sucking out of the universe, sucking out of nature, the more death and destruction it's doing to us.
Well, this is completely against the law. And I'm not talking about the law that's etched out in the American Constitution or any of these books like that. I'm talking about the law of the nature and law of the universe, because the main law is to preserve life in any form that it exists. You see what I'm saying? The taking away of life is the ultimate sin, whether it be of a person, of a tree, or of an insect, whatever it may be. You're taking away life is the ultimate sin. To take away your own life is even worse, because that was a gift to you. You know what I mean? Having this vehicle of a body to travel upon this planet and to participate in the greatness of this place and what it ultimately can be, and to not use that for your own betterment, is a terrible sin. You see what I'm saying? But one thing I want to say is man is doing certain things to the planet that are extremely detrimental. You know, and this goes back to when man fell, you know what I mean, to his lower stage. You see what I'm saying? And you got people that came over here from Europe, and saw the indigenous aboriginal people who are termed the Indians living at peace with this land, you know, and dealing with the, you know, they were interfacing with nature to the fullest degree, to the point that they were at one with nature and there was no division between them. You see what I'm saying? With this man that had no in tune with nature, who was so distant from it, he didn't understand that, and he began to murder these people. And when you look at what is going on around that time, man, especially, you know, the buffalo and what happened with the train tracks, just that alone, laying still on the earth is like putting braces on a woman's uterus and saying that no more seed, no more eggs are going to flow out of the ovaries into the fallopian tubes, you know what I'm saying, and eventually become fertilized by sperm. You see what I'm saying? When you lay train tracks on the land and you got men riding these trains with guns shooting at buffalo, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, yo, but listen, I'm saying all of that because that is the foundation of the fall, as far as the most recent fall, because there were many falls throughout history of how man fell from his great divine state, you know what I'm saying, into what we are now. But we are originated in divinity, so you can never fully strip that from man.
I totally understand that we can never fully strip that intrinsic relationship that we had with nature. That's always going to be a part of us. But what has happened to bring us to a point where we have forgotten that animals and plants are not only our friends, but they're our partners in what's going on. You know, it's like you said, the bison, when we wanted to lay the train tracks and we wanted to build industries in certain areas of America, industrialization, we murdered the bison. Well, and the bison ceased to become our friend. You know, the plants ceased to become our friends. And now it's like, okay, no, these plants are not our friends. These crops are not our friends. You know what? We're going to conquer these things. We're going to, companies like Monsanto, we're going to genetically engineer our own corn. We're going to genetically engineer our own animals, which is what's happening right now. So we are in a position where we have become so blind to the relationship that we once had with nature. The relationship where we understood that we are in partnership with our plants around us. We are in partnership with our animals around us. The Native Americans understood this very well. The Mayans and Aztecs understood this very well. When you go back and look at the temples that the Mayans have built and the Aztecs have built, those temples are in perfect harmony with nature. It's not like a big clear-cut forest that they just cut down. No, you see these temples popping up out of the woods, and there's still a lot of vegetation around it. It's not like a big clear-cut, which organizations are doing now. They're saying, okay, no, we're in charge of this forest. We're in charge of this 200,000 acres. We're just going to clear-cut this forest down, and we're going to build hot tubs out of this. We're going to build furniture out of this. And I mean, what are you thinking? What's going through your mind?
That goes on in a man when he doesn't understand himself. You see what I'm saying? But when a man has been stripped of all of what truly makes him a man, he can't interface with nature. You see what I'm saying? For one, the removal of melanin from the body greatly diminishes the ability that you could relate to the universe, because melanin is cosmic intelligence manifested. It's also an external brain. You see what I'm saying? Which is on the skin. You know what I'm saying? And if you got people that lack that to a great degree, then everything is refined. It's like taking wheat that's originally whole and refining it down. You've lost so much. So once it's refined, it becomes weak. It begins to act weak. You know what I'm saying? But we think that it's strong because it conquered everything else. It's not strong because it conquered everything else. If you conquer, that makes you weak, because you have to conquer in order to satisfy your ego, which is a void that could truly never be satisfied. And the earth today is a result of what's been going on with that, because, you know, lower man has constantly been trying to fill the void of his lack of spirituality. You see, before there were televisions, TV waves still existed. Before there were microwaves still existed, being emitted from the sun. And there are many civilizations like the Incas, like the Mayans, like the Egyptians, like ancient Mesopotamia, who was able to utilize TV rays, close their eyes and watch a show. Somebody could be speaking to them. That, you know, if you
It's all up here.
If you study Africa, you'll know that in every single village, in every single family, there was always a man who was the storyteller.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I could look at a person like Spike Lee today and say, yo, Spike Lee, okay, he's a great storyteller, but I could understand the depth of where that comes from.